Hey Capricorns, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be taking a look at your second half of November general reading here. So in your meditation, really interesting. I saw the image of a frog, which is Ten of Wands energy. It speaks of emotional detoxification, right? Emotional cleansing, shifting from one cycle to another, needing to release things in order to do so, laying down heavy burdens so that you have more space and room for the lighter things. So I saw this frog, and then I saw it being cast in bronze, right? And placed on a mantle above a roaring fire. And then I was in the inside of a home, this fireplace, and then I saw an image of the 10 of Pentacles, which is about, it's a beautiful energy. It's about happy home and family, but in a way that is rooted in ancestry and financial abundance, and really experiencing the earthly benefits of those feel goods as well. So it's being incredibly happy but also incredibly well to do, right? In a way where you really are not concerned about the future at all, because you know that the things are set up for your future descendants, and for any eventualities or possibilities as the wheel turns, and you're prepared and comfortable and secure. It feels really good. So I saw that. And then I saw this bronzed frog on the mantelpiece, and I saw time passing in a 10 of Pentacles fashion, very secure being the keyword here. And then I saw an image of this frog, sort of like the bronze coming off and it revealing itself again. And then I saw the Hermit from the Hermit key, Virgo energy, step forward with its lantern in front of this fireplace with the frog next to it. And it felt like an opportunity, sort of like coming, like, hey, do you want to come this way? Do you want to follow the lantern? Or do you want to stay in front of the fire in this 10 of Pentacles landscape? It's really interesting how this is coming forward. I feel like the point of this is there are roads that are safe for you to travel that lead to clearly defined places where you can pretty much see how things are going to lay out. There are certain points in our life where we can stand at a fork in the road and go, yeah, I can see how this will be in 1 year's time, in 5 years' time. This is a smart move. This is a safe bet. This is a road that I know how to tow, right? Then there's this other fork in the road, like with the Hermit's lantern, that goes, but what if you ask the magic question, what if? What if? What if you didn't go the safe route? What if you took a bigger chance and stepped into the unknown? And what if you didn't know where it was going to lead? Would you prefer being able to see clearly many years down the road and have that security? Or would you rather take a chance into the unknown and possibly manifest things beyond what you could even envision? Or things that are different from what you could envision? Very interesting, Capricorn. But I do feel like the Hermit is presenting you with this option. The fact that the frog went from being a frog to being bronzed on the mantelpiece to coming alive again, it felt like there's something in that for you with the 10 of Wands, where this opportunity may require that you move, because 10 of Wands represents moving residences, or moving from one geographical location to the other, or even moving from any kind of line of work that you've been doing for a long time into something else. But it speaks of a move or a transition. So it's kind of like I'm seeing a really funny image. I don't know why I'm seeing this particular one, but there's a show called Picard, and it's the next generation kind of continued. So it's a revamp of Picard, and it's Patrick Stewart. And there's a scene in Picard where they go back and they're getting kind of the gang back together again, and they come upon Riker, I think is his name. Is it Riker? I think so. Anyway, correct me in the comments if you know. But they go back to his old brother in arms, and they find him again. It's like, hey, do you want to go on one last mission with me? That's what it feels like. Something that you thought was tied up, or you thought it was going to be, suddenly there's this opportunity that comes in and goes, hey, this thing from the past, or this thing that you thought, didn't have any more potential, or this new opportunity that you didn't see coming is coming forward now. Do you wanna, I'm hearing, are you gonna go my way? I think that's Lenny Kravitz, I don't know. But that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like for you. Really fascinating. So let's go ahead and see what the cards say. Hey Capricorns, let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is for the second half of November. Animal energy for the second half of November. Oh, beautiful. Okay, crow on the bottom there for you. Hey. So you got the whale. This is really beautiful. So whale energy equates to that of the Queen of Cups. In the tarot, which is about, being an empath, it's about feeling things very deeply, being very connected to your intuition, your emotional core. This is all about the heart chakra when the whale comes through, really being connected to that aspect of you. But also, with the Queen of Cups and the whale energy, there is this, aspect of it that says, like, I feel things so, so deeply. I'm so tuned and in touch that I need to remember to come and ground myself on the land sometimes. So given that you are Capricorns and you are earth energy and you are nourished by the water, this feels like a really healthy balance for you coming in around this time. But I also got to say, because we're looking at the heart chakra, and then we're, with your meditation and the invitation about, do you want to consider this road? Do you want to take this chance, or would you rather continue along the path that you have, a handle on, that you can see what it's going to be? It's interesting. It's like, are you going to go with the smart choice, or are you going to, go with the mystery? And what is your heart going to inform you around these choices that are coming through for you? I feel like it's directly tied to the Hermit energy, that Virgo energy of what if, asking questions, right? It's interesting. Let's see what's going on. Oh, interesting. Okay. Coming up in reverse, but I'm going to hold it in the upright for the sake of the visual. Fascinating, no? So you have Two of Cups, more water energy here for you. But this is also the heart chakra. So this is fascinating here. We're in a green tunic here, right? So the Two Cups here, this is about inner and outer duality. It's about heart-based choices, but it's also about alignment. Right? It's about alignment and coming together with either an aspect of yourself or someone else, and existing within a heart space that feels balanced and whole and healthy, right? Really interesting here. This really feels like it's about what the heart wants. I keep hearing it. I keep feeling it. Feels like it's largely about that. Now, this did come up in the reverse. It did come up in the reverse. I gotta say to you, Capricorns, I feel like there is something that has been coming up for you, or will do moving forward here, that is along the line, I feel like even leading up to your birthday season, right? That is along the lines of this. It could even come as like a nagging feeling, or like a fly that you try to swat away, where it's like you may be feeling yourself called to something, whether it's a shift in your work, or somewhere to move, or a relationship. You're feeling a shift within you and a call around something that has either been placed on the back burner or been categorized as not possible or not the right time. But I feel like that was not a heart-based decision or choice, that it was coming from fear. But it was masquerading as something else. It was masquerading as being smart, but really it was a fear-based choice. It's interesting how this is coming through. A lot of the times when we make fear-based choices, it doesn't come around and goes, hey, I'm a fear-based choice, I'm gonna present myself as I am. No, it's a lot, it's a lot more veiled than that, right? It presents as something else. It's like, hey, I'm not gonna take a chance on this because I've got to be responsible and come from a 10 of Pentacles place and think about having a certain amount in the bank, setting up for, family or security or financial freedom or whatever it is. And then sometimes that, comes across as being smart, but really it's a fear-based choice. And we're going, oh, we're favoring a sure thing over what our heart is telling us to do, right? It's interesting how this is coming through, but I do feel like there's a disconnect with something that your heart wants, or something that your heart is asking you to give some credence to, okay? I feel like for some of you, it's a relationship that there's a disconnect going on with. And for others of you, it's something that your heart is desiring, whether it's a person, place, or thing that, you know, I feel like it's going to be trying to get your attention more and more. And I think that's going to come through signs and symbols and synchronicities, honestly. Knight of Swords, exactly. So Knight of Swords is about, you know, truth, incoming. This is about messages and realizations and communication that can be very blunt, but wonderfully obvious in nature. So it's not subtle, right? We were just talking about these things trying to get your attention and calling your focus. And then we have the Knight of Swords here. You know, I'm really drawn to the eagles here as well. So I'm feeling a certain sense of Scorpio energy as well with this. I do feel like there's an aspect of what is right for you versus what is right for someone else coming through here. See how they're running right into the Two of Cups in reverse? Yeah, good. So we have the Justice key here. Now I want to point out, this is the only major arcana and it's in the 3rd position. Now remember, major arcanas are about destined or fated aspects of our path and soul lessons that involve not just us, but the people around us that are involved in those similar lessons and paths and karmic ties, right? Minors, if we see something we don't like, we can shift it, right? Minors can be edited, but these are in permanent marker, the majors. So Justice energy, Libra energy is about, you know, everything being exactly as it should be through a lens of impartiality, right? So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. So with the scales here, right, we're talking about the heart, because in Egyptian lore, we would put the heart on one side of the scale and then a feather on the other. And if the heart was heavier than the feather, then you weren't able to pass through and you had to go back and repeat and all this, you know, it's like, oh no, it's like the heart's too heavy. It can't move on. It can't move forward. So it's another aspect of what this heart wants and what's going on with that aspect of you. You know, the Hermit, Virgo coming in, I feel like it's commenting on this sword aspect here as well and saying, can you step into your observer mode and really be honest with yourself about your longing points? And I mean that, longing points. What in you inspires longing or elicits longing, right? So this can come a lot of different ways, and it's up to you to observe those moments within yourself. I'm gonna say something that may be a bit controversial, but why not? I had someone say, it wasn't directly to me, it was a group that I was a part of, but this person had said to the group that jealousy can be it can be great information. Because when we experience jealousy of others, right, for whatever reason, whether it's someone we know or someone we're watching on the TV, honey, and we feel jealous, right, when they have something, right, that we desire, that can be incredibly motivating as well, as what this person said. It can be very enlightening and very motivating, right? So it's not about wishing that this person didn't have what they have, but it's about observing within ourselves, like, oh, that makes me feel some type of way when I hear that news, or I see this person, or I see this playing out on TV, or whatever it is, or I hear this story, right? I feel like that's really coming through for you. There are parts of you that are longing for something or wishing for something, and I feel like it's going to be made very clear what that is related to in moments that you feel jealousy. Jealousy is not one of those things that we ever really want to feel, or that we even want to admit that we feel, but we all experience it. Social media, I'm getting. So social media is a really interesting aspect of that. Have you noticed yourself ever on social media and you're seeing other people's life events and announcements and achievements or whatever, and you experience those pangs of like jealousy, and you're like, oh, I don't feel fully happy for them, whether it's like a stranger, like a celebrity, or like someone you know. It's like, I can't feel fully happy for them because their happiness makes me more aware of what I, wish I had, or where I'm not quite to yet, or whatever that is for you. I'm hearing that any jealousy that you feel is going to be the best source of information that's available to you during this time. And I feel like it is directly linked to the path that is well known and more, that is more well traversed, I should say, right? You know, the landscape, you could probably walk it with like a blindfold on, versus the path not taken. And it really feels like it's directly related to this what if, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Hermit and the Frog, with transition points and choices and making the safe bet over the, you know, let's take a risk and see what happens. But I feel like there are aspects of you where you have made a lot of safe bets, or you've made choices that are really good for other people, that benefit other people, but maybe what you wanted or what was best for you came second or third or last. And something is shifting in that way, where it's going, hey, really look at this. It's really time to give more awareness and credence to what it is you want and what it is that you are truly hoping for. Does what you truly want, when you're honest with yourself, when you sit in those emotions and you allow that information to come through and be honest about what this disconnect is with the heart space and the Two of Cups, right? And you allow yourself to be made aware of that. What is it? Assume that Hermit position. What is it? And what if I were to allow myself to dream a little bit more about those roads not taken, around the things that seem impractical, improbable, or may not sit well with my partner, my boss, my family, or whatever have you. I'm really getting this strong feeling about making choices that honor what you truly desire from a heart place, and trusting that whoever is truly behind you and wants the best for you is gonna get on board eventually, if not at first, eventually. But I feel like there's an unpopular opinion kind of circulating this as well. But you're being asked to align yourself to that of justice, right? You know, part of this with the justice key as well is understanding that true balance comes from giving to yourself and giving to others. And I feel like for you, especially because you've got the empath energy coming up here too with the whale, in what ways have you given to others at your own expense? Okay, you're really being asked to look at that stuff. You really, really are. Let's get some advice. Ooh. Oh, Ace of Swords. Hello, hello, hello. Look at these swords here. Swords represent truth, realization, true but possibly blunt communication, right? This also comes through as writing or even journaling, right? To get to the core truth of something. I'm hearing writing is rewriting. So it's interesting too, because when you look at the Ten of Pentacles as an idea, that's a story that's already been written. Ten of Pentacles is the last chapter. It's number 10, right? It's the last chapter of a book before the book closes, and that's it, right? But I'm hearing with this, you're being asked to really allow yourself the time and space to consider what is actually written and what is yet to be written. What aspects of this came up in another sign's reading. I don't remember which one though. What are the aspects where you have the ability to sort of carve out pathways that maybe will take you outside of the road that was planned upon, or the road that you've been traversing up until this point? But there's a truth. There's a truth that wants to be made available to you, that wants your attention, right? Ace of Swords, aces represent brand new starts, fresh starts. You're being asked to really sit within the deep well of your emotions, right? For the sake of that clarity, right? So it's like submerge yourself in the deep, watery depths of your heart chakra, whether it's through meditation, journaling, time out. Talk therapy is fabulous. Ace of Swords is very much about talk therapy as well, so that you can come out on the other side of it and go, this is how I can feel good about moving forward and knowing that I am giving credence to my own dreams and wants and desires, while also balancing, you know, what is practical, what is smart, what is going to set me up and those I love for the long term, right? But I do feel like there's this energy of, you know, something that you want or that's important to you being placed on the back burner, or as a second, coming in second to someone else's needs, or in some way, shape, or form. Let's get an oracle. Feeling like this one. Let's get an oracle. Oh, wow. Beautiful. So here we have the High Lady of Love and Compassion. Love, it's a key word here. Love, heart chakra. Number 1. Ooh, 1, like the Ace of Swords. Reverence, kindness, consideration. Reverence, kindness, consideration. You know, this is really beautiful. This really speaks of, you know, experiencing everything through that lens of love. But I want to talk about something else that comes along with this. You know that saying from the Bible, it's like love is patient, love is kind. There's a lot more to it, but that's the abbreviated version. It's really about understanding that, you know, because along with this empathy aspect with the whale, sometimes it can be difficult to have empathy for other people who are not maybe giving us empathy or are not, you know, necessarily treating us as well as we treat them. But if we are able to meet people where they are, right, then suddenly it becomes a lot easier to show them love, to have kindness, consideration, reverence. But I feel like there's something coming through around this. There's this like unspoken element, right, of this disconnect that's coming through of how have I, you know, put my stuff to the side or not prioritized it or things that I wanted and needed in favor of ABC, XYZ. And there's this aspect of if you know that you can meet people where they are, right? And access the love between you, whether it's a person or a job that you love or whatever it is, then you can also extend that same love and compassion and kindness to yourself. Because you notice how she's alone in the woods? That hermit with the lantern is walking through that landscape, the light and the darkness. So there really is, and she's also got a hummingbird balancing on her finger there. Hummingbird is directly related to the throat chakra, as is the Ace of Swords, which is speaking up and being honest and truthful about what your needs are, how you see things, and what's really important to you. Because I also feel like there's this aspect of a dream deferred in some way, and you're being asked to kind of reconnect with what that is, and then really take some time out in stillness, right? To really gain clarity around what is important, what matters, and how you can also honor what your needs are and marry it with what is practical or what is smart, right? Can you look to yourself in the present, be honest with what's in your heart space, and marry that with the 10 of Pentacles, right? That's what's coming up. Because that frog, remember the emotional detoxification, that frog, also green heart chakra, being made into bronze and put on the sill, right? And then coming to life again with the hermit. This is something that you can either do now or have it come up again much later. And I'm not saying that to be like, you know, like funny about it, but that's very much what this feels like. You have an opportunity to see to this now, because there is a disconnect here in some way with your heart or a relationship. This can be your relationship to a job that you do, a person that you're with, or yourself, whatever it is. There's a disconnect here, and you're being asked to really be willing to look at what that's about in favor of equilibrium and everybody, you know, getting what they desire in a way that is balanced and fair, right? Love and compassion. Really, really beautiful, Capricorn. With that being said, I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, please let me know in the comments below. There's some drama going on with YouTube where they're unsubscribing people from my channel who are not, you know, actively interacting with the videos outside of just watching them. So leave a comment, like the video if you want to stay subscribed. I'd so appreciate that. Also, the link to sign up for the waitlist for my Be Your Own Intuitive membership is in the description box below. And lastly, just thank you. Thank you so, so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, my beautiful Capricorns, thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.